My father he was an old Fianna Fáil man. He was a huge admirer of De Valera. He thought De Valera was God. Anyhow, he was in Fianna Fáil for years, most of his adult life. He was very active in his local common. He was respected, quite well known. And everything was grand. But then there was a point where my father became unemployed, and this was in the 50s. And in the 50s, if you're unemployed, life could get very hard, very fast. And so things are bad, really bad. And one day he went up to his local common to do his normal business, and they took him aside and they explained that they'd gotten him a job. They got him a job. Now, years later, I heard this from my mother, years later, and she explained that my father came home that night, and the minute he walked in the front door, she knew something was wrong. And she said he walked in the front door, he said nothing, he walked upstairs. She could hear him rooting away. A few minutes later, he came down with a suitcase, and he told her he was going to England to get work. My father died in England. To offer my father a job, it was the most appalling insult to him. You see, they thought he was corrupt, just like them, but he wasn't. He believed in De Valera. He believed in that type of republicanism. He genuinely believed in it. And the idea that he would benefit, that he would use his contacts or take favours, that was shocking. People who tell you that they are patriots and then ask you for money, they are not patriots. They are at best scoundrels, but they are not patriots. Now, Philip Dwyer is a man who is not shy about asking for money. Here he gives a link to Subscribestar if you want to give him money, or PayPal, or indeed if you want to pay him through Bitcoin. Now, if you go to Subscribestar, you'll find that, you can pay him $1 a month, just $1 a month, and you'll get content. Of course, if you pay $10 a month, you'll get a little bit more. If you pay $20 a month, you'll get a little bit more. And as you can see here, if you pay $50 a month, you'll get a lot more content. But if you go full VIP and pay him $100 a month, you'll get all the really good stuff. Now, this is shocking. There are no circumstances. If I was starving, I wouldn't ask for money or accept it. And I mean that quite seriously. If I was starving, I wouldn't. There are no circumstances that I would take money for doing whatever it is I might do for the cause, put it that way. But Philip Dwyer is not shy about asking for money. And you have Gerald Murphy. Thursday night, when he heard about these riots happening in Dublin, he was in his car down the city straightway, taking time away from my kids at a moment's notice, put myself in danger to cover last night's events up close. PayPal. This is genuinely shocking. It really is shocking. But of course, Philip Dwyer is... Now let's get a few facts about Philip Dwyer. Philip Dwyer is an anti-Semite, a nasty individual. He is also a racist. I mean in the old-fashioned, real sense of that word. He doesn't like black people. He doesn't like non-white people. He doesn't like foreigners generally. And he has a very nasty attitude towards them. Now, all the time we hear about online hatred. And of course, over the last few days, they've been going to town in relation to online hatred and how we must bring in more and more oppressive measures to stop this online hatred. Now, one of the reasons our media and our elites and the left, one of the reasons why they keep hammering home this point is that there is, of course, an element of truth here. There are people here in Ireland who are engaging in online hatred. There are nasty, vile individuals who really are spreading hatred and organising hatred. Philip Dwyer is one of these people. And all of his friends are pretty much the same. Now I'm not very good online, I'm not engaged fully or anything remotely like it with the online world. But even at my let's say superficial understanding of the online world and my very small amount of time I spend on Twitter or various other platforms, even I can see this stuff, this really nasty stuff. And a lot of this nasty stuff is coming from people like Philip Dwyer and that circle of people. And a lot of the religious people, these old Catholic types. When you go online first, you see these people speaking up about, all this religious stuff. And you think, well, that's nice people, good moral position and all that. But, after a while, if you're not deaf and if you're not blind, you begin to realise that, these people, they're not Christians. They're very nasty people. Virtually all of these people are rabid racists. They really don't like blacks. They don't like brown-skinned coloured people. But anyhow, I'm waffling a little, as I usually do. But, this business of making money online. Now, Philip Dwyer is he's very good at promoting himself. He joined the National Party and then he ended up as a candidate. And apparently he got about 500 votes, which isn't bad. In fact, it's very good. He's good at what he does. He's good at promoting himself. He's good at putting himself out there. He's a very capable man. And he's not shy about going after the money, and that's what he's doing. Now, I don't know how much money Philip Dwyer is making here. I don't know how much money he's making right now. But there is serious money to be made if you're someone like Philip Dwyer. And when I say serious money, I mean really serious money. There's big money out there to be made. There are sponsors, if you like, out there. If you create a profile for yourself, if you make yourself really visible, if you give the appearance that you're a mover and shaker and you're making things happening, there are people out there with big pockets and groups out there who have a lot of money to spend and they will sponsor you. From time to time, maybe on YouTube or that, and you see this or that person, and you might find yourself wondering, maybe they're travelling around the world, they're turning up here, there. You might find yourself wondering, where does the money come from? Well, some of these people, not all, but some of these people have sponsors, wealthy sponsors. There is a lot of money to be made here, and I mean a lot of serious money. And Philip Dwyer is on his way to making that money. if he remains online, if he keeps on as he is, I don't know how much money he's making already, but I have no doubt he will make a lot of money out of this. And that's why he's doing it. That's the only reason he's doing it. You know, I don't know if I'm repeating myself here, but I think I might be, but I'll say it anyhow. You know, this online hatred thing that the media is always on about, and the left are always on about, the reason they keep on about that is that there is a certain truth to it. Like when you hear on the radio people talking about online hatred and how we must combat online hatred, it's not all 100% lies. There is a core of truth to it. There are nasty, vile people out there who are genuinely spreading hatred. And Philip Dwyer is one of them. This is a nasty fucker. And I've learned one thing in life. I've never met you, but you're not stupid. I know that. And I know that most of you will have noticed the occasional remark. Just in his video, these videos he made the last few days, in one of those videos there's a point where some dark-skinned person says something to him. Now, it's not aggressive, nothing bad. And how does he respond? On your bike, is that it? A simple remark and the tone of voice, it tells you everything. Everything you want to know about the man. And the only reason he responded to this man in this way is because the guy wasn't white. You know, there are quite a few people out there who don't like Philip Dwyer. You might have noticed this too if you've been watching his videos. There's quite a few people out there who are quite suspicious of him. I'm talking about working class people in working class communities. He comes in with the camera, etc., etc. People aren't stupid. And this is true particularly of working class people in working class communities. They don't like outsiders coming in and using them. And I suspect that a lot of people in these communities, they're tolerating him because the publicity he brings has its good side. But I don't think they're fooled by him. Yeah. Yes. €100 per month, and you get the VIP treatment. And like I say, I don't know you, I've never met you, but I know you're not stupid, you're not thick. Take care.